Hi, this is Shell of Shell's Creations, and today I want to show you how you can recolor things and make them a lighter shade or a darker shade of the color that you're looking for. I'm going to show you this technique today with some flowers from my Kanzashi flower collection. It's a commercial use item, so you can use these items in your own kits, or you can just use them to make fun flowers for your own layouts. When I saw some of these flowers, I fell in love with how beautiful they are and how fun they are to work with. And so I have three collections. I have a 5-petal version that has kind of 3 ribs up the middle of each flower. I have a 6-petal version that has just one big rib in the middle of each petal. And then I have a 5-pointed, a more pointed version with 5 petals. They are all in a bundle right now, and I will link up to that in the comments below. Okay, so here's, I'm going to use the 5-petal solid one to show this technique today. So I have this one opened up in Photoshop, ready to work on. Let's start by just changing the color on this. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the petal layers on here. It's extracted in multiple layers, and I'll show you why in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and add a hue saturation adjustment layer. You can do that at the bottom of your layers palette. You can go ahead and add a hue saturation layer there. And let's play with it a little bit. Let's turn it, let's suppose that I'm making a layout and I want a pretty aqua flower. I wonder if we should decide what color flower we want. I'm going to turn off that layer for just a minute, and I'm going to make a new layer below it by holding down my Control key and clicking on the new layer button. And I want to make that a fill layer. I want a solid color, and I'm going to make, this is the pretty aqua color that I'm kind of going for with my flower. Okay, now let's turn that adjustment layer back on and let's clip it to our flower. Okay, as you can see, I seem to have it in about the right place at plus 93. Yeah, right there at about plus 93 to 95, but it's really dark, and so I'm going to show you how you can make an adjustment to that. Let's go ahead and add a new adjustment layer, and this time the adjustment layer we're going to make is the levels layer. So we'll go ahead and add the levels there, and we are going to shift that middle slider and turn it down, and you'll notice that as we turn it down, we're coming closer now, coming a lot closer. I'm going to move it down to 1.63 for now. But the other thing that happens when we adjust that levels, we notice that our flower is very desaturated for what we're looking for. So let's go back again to our hue saturation layer, and let's bump up the saturation on this until it more matches the look we're going for. Okay, if I get that up around 45, it looks like that's something like what we're looking at there. Now what I have is a flower that would fit, that's more in line with the color scheme that I'm going for. Okay, so I promised to show you why I had extracted these in separate layers. It just makes it so that you can add more customization. One of the fun things about the Kanzashi flowers is that sometimes they do different colored petals, and so they might do that one and this one in green, the others are in blue. And let's go ahead and do some of the same playing with them. Let's drag this up, let's drag these up and clip it to these this petal right here, but let's change the color on it and say, you know what, instead let's make this one into more of a lime green, but I want a lighter lime green, something like that. And then let's duplicate those colors on the other petal that I've turned on. Holding down Alt, I can click and drag, and that will duplicate. Let's go ahead and link those to that layer, and then let's turn on, let's say this one right down here, and this time I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to duplicate those and click and drag them, but this time instead of staying with the lime color on this one, I'm going to go with something else, maybe a blue on that one, or I could go with something that's more in the pink range. If I go pink right there, I'm going to want to up the saturation on it a little bit. I might even want to make it a little bit, there we go, so that you can play with it. So the reason that there are all of those other petals there is so that you can make a variety of colors when you do your petals. It's just one of the more fun things that you can do with the Kanzashi flowers. In order to make a flower that's darker, it's the same concept except we move the levels slider the opposite direction. This time I have the 5-petal modeled version. We're going to make this one look like it's denim. You might not think of this as denim when you see it in green in this version, but we can make it look like it's denim. Let's go ahead and add our hue saturation layer first, and let's see if we can get that a darker blue, something a little more denim looking. Okay, how about right about there, and we're going to desaturate that. let's go with -45, and on the hue I have 153. And now we're going to adjust the levels on that. Let's add a levels adjustment layer. This time if you slide it to the right so that you got darker, you'll be able to darken that as much as is necessary to make it look like denim to you. That's kind of a real purpley denim. You might not want it quite that purpley. We could take it back just a little bit more. There, now it looks like our kanzashi flower is made out of denim. So using the levels dialog box can adjust things so that you can recolor them and get a color that is darker or a color that is lighter in the shade that you're looking for. If you like this tutorial, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you'll be one of the first to know when I release new tutorials. If you like what you see and you'd like more tips and tutorials like this, I have a designer club where we have webinars twice a month. It also includes all the new releases I have each month. You can find out that using the link below where it says Shell's Designer Club. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach me at shells.creations1@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.